They say you can steal without a brain, but still couldn't find the exam paper. Vahan decides to just call Paya, but his phone rings like thunder on the dean's desk. Vahan stares at the incoming call with shock, while he finds the final exam paper and hands it to Radu as her birth gift, but he'd rather fail than resort to dirty tricks, so he tosses the crumpled paper aside. Rancho secretly praises his friend's choice, but just then the dean picks up the crumpled exam paper and realizes it's his own, angrily denouncing Rancho as a shameful thief. The black umbrella keeps slapping him as thunder rumbles, and the dean is fuming, ruthlessly expelling all three. Back, the dean rages at Paya, sure Rancho is involved with the key. This time he won't stay silent. He wishes he'd given the key to his brother, so he wouldn't have died. They just used it to calm the dean. The real reason his brother died was the pressure from the dean. He wanted to save the world with words, while the dean wanted him to design buildings. He left behind a life-defining letter to challenge the dean, and the dean almost passed out from the shock. Paya felt like the room was suffocating, so she rushed to the hospital. The trio prepared to sneak away when they heard the dean's desperate shout. The rain flooded the city. The ambulance couldn't pass. They quickly followed Paya's instructions and laid their sister on a ping-pong table. Connecting with Dr. Paya on the computer, they activated the life hotline. They gathered all the supplies to welcome the new arrival, but the baby just wouldn't budge, and Mona fainted in the process. They needed a vacuum to suck that baby out in a hurry. Rancho joked he could improvise with a vacuum cleaner. Just then, a bolt of lightning cut the power, but Rancho stays calm, sending Vahan for the vacuum, and telling the vandal to bring the dean-named generator. This was a promise to the dean at his engagement. Rancho told Freddy to wake everyone to gather batteries, wires, and vacuum equipment. A race against death began. They pried open the car, retrieved the battery, Vahan brought the vacuum, and Rancho connected the batteries. He sliced open the pressure canister, attached the vacuum, turning it into a suction cup. Circuit set. Radio flipped the switch. Battery charged, lamp relit, video restored. Following Paya's instructions, suction pressure set to 0.5. Just as Rancho prepped to deliver the baby, the dean fainted under the pressure. But the others continued with the steps calmly. Vahan turned on the vacuum, radio assisting. Everyone awaited the newborn. With Mona's scream, a new life arrived on this stormy night. But Paya noticed the baby wasn't crying. Even Rancho's gentle pats on the back had no effect, hinting that the baby might not be breathing. However, when Radio offered a comforting chant of all is well, the baby kicked suddenly, and Rancho had a light bulb moment. The late cry of the baby filled everyone with joy. Perhaps this was the miracle of life. The dean was already in tears, and when he took the baby, he delivered a line that left everyone speechless. Just then, Rancho was about to sneak away, but the moment the dean saw him, he dropped the baby and chased after him, ready to show his last bit of stubbornness. The dean gifted Rancho the pen symbolizing harvest fruits, saying he finally met a student better than himself in 32 years. As the rain cleared, sunshine poured down, warming. In the end, he rescinded the expulsion order, and the trio graduated successfully, with Rancho even crowned as the student of the year. Their college days began in early autumn and wrapped up in summer. Looking back at the blooming flowers, their hearts were filled with bright dreams, knowing that youth would event. The trio promised annual meetings, but Rancho vanished with the taxi, silent for a decade. 10 years later, 2 of them received a mysterious call about Rancho. Vahan pretended to have a heart attack on the airplane, causing an emergency return. Then, he performed a series of calisthenics in front of the doctor to show he was fine, before bolting out of the airport, with Radu chasing after him. When they rushed to the school rooftop, they found the silencer showing off. It turned out today was the anniversary of their bet from 10 years ago. Now, the big guy's flaunting his mansion, ladies, and a flashy red sports car, boasting that his assets are about to double. He claims a scientist named Wonder is about to sign with him while his dear brother's fate is still unknown, infuriating Vahan to the point of wanting to punch him. But the silencer was unfazed, handing them the address of Blue Car. They drove all the way there only to find a posh estate hosting a memorial service. The estate owner is Blue Car, but he's not the real deal. Spotting the degrees on the wall and the switched faces in the photos, they quickly sensed something was off. As the secret of the diploma swap was about to be exposed, the estate owner prepared to take care of them. Thinking quickly, they snatched his father's ashes. After some back and forth, the reluctant good son had to surrender, revealing the true identity of Blue Car. He's the gardener's son. This kid is gifted and loves sneaking knowledge in a master's uniform. His classmates do his homework and even take tests for him. Until one day, the principal found Blue Car in 6th grade solving high school math problems and rushed to his house for a visit, thus exposing his secret. Yet the old estate owner still wanted him to take his son's place in exams. Blue Car just craved knowledge, thereby linking their fates. After graduating, Blue Car cut ties with the masters, but he had predicted 2 idiots would come after him, leaving his address in advance. Seeing the address was for an elementary school, the silencer felt deflated. He's the vice president of a public company, but Blue Car is just an unknown teacher. Looks like he won the bet. They thought Pyre deserved to know about Blue Car's whereabouts, so they drove straight to his place, but Pyre was already engaged to some two-timer. At their parents' arrangement, they were set to get married, yet at the last minute, Pyre was persuaded by Radu to bolt from the wedding. After a 6-hour trek, they finally reached the elementary school, where there were no boring classes, just kids and their wild imaginations. Kids were powering razors using bike energy. It's a hilarious genius move. Undoubtedly, only Blue Car could produce such innovative students. They followed the assistant into Blue Car's office, where he remarked that Blue Car had read all his books and shared Radar's blog with the kids every day. The assistant, once a school errand boy, had grown into an adult. The 3 didn't recognize him at first. Finally, they found Blue Car by the lake, and their reunion joy was palpable. Just then, Xiao Yinki hurried over too. He ridiculed Blue Car for becoming an elementary teacher from an engineer in a decade with a lower salary than his son's allowance, and then forced him to sign the defeat declaration.